welcome. I appreciate you joining me here. This is Deb with Bowl Me Over. Today we're going to do something fun, and that is going to be a pie. Who doesn't love a great pie? I'm going to make a chocolate pie. This is going to be a Hershey's chocolate pie, and it has only 3 ingredients. So I'm very excited to show that to you. The full recipe's on my blog, but I'm going to give you a ton of tips and tricks to make it super easy. Like easier than it already is, right? So we're going to start with a pre-made pie, pie crust. This is a graham cracker pie crust. You can use an Oreo pie crust. You could even bake a pie shell, but why when you can get this and it's easy? So the next thing we're going to need are simply chocolate bars. Everybody loves Hershey's chocolate. And then lastly, Cool Whip. Yes, we could make our own. Yes, we could beat it with a mixer, but why when we have pre-made Cool Whip? So let me show you how easy this is to make, okay? So I'm excited to get started. The first thing we're gonna do is just break up the chocolate. I've saved 6 little bits because we're gonna use those to make the pie pretty. We're gonna do that for the top of the pie. Now we just need to break up the chocolate. We're gonna melt it. I have a pot going in the background, and we're gonna use that as a double boiler. But you don't have to do that. You can certainly melt it in your microwave. I can't because my microwave's broken, so that's fine. So let's just break up the chocolate and we'll move to the next step. So our chocolate's all broken up, it's ready to go. Come follow me. Let's go to the stove top and we'll melt this. I'll show you how quick and easy it is to do. So here at the stove top, you see I have a pot on to boil. It's on high, and I'm gonna put my chocolate on top. I don't want the bottom of the bowl to hit the boiling water. So we're gonna set that right on top and stir the chocolate. Again, this is called a double boiler. It's nothing too fancy. It's just going to melt the chocolate smoothly. It's gonna be like really luscious and gorgeous, and it doesn't take long to do. Now, if you were doing this instead in your microwave, you would turn it on 30 seconds at 50% power and pull it out, stir it. Even though it looks like it's not doing anything, stir it every time you pull it out. And you can see it's already starting to melt. Again, it just takes a couple minutes. Hey, so we almost have our chocolate boiled or melted. And the one thing you want to be careful about is you don't want any water in your chocolate because it'll actually seize the chocolate. What that means is instead of smooth and silky like this, the chocolate will get gritty and icky. It's a technical phrase, gritty and icky, but just like that, just keep stirring it the whole time. The bowl isn't too hot because I used a really big bowl, which I would recommend, but just keep stirring it and it melts super quick. So our chocolate's melted, we're ready to go. We're gonna mix our Cool Whip into the chocolate. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying easy. This is such a simple process. We're simply gonna fold it in. And I just love how, oh my gosh, this is like a fancy chocolate mousse. But we don't have to tell anybody there's 3 ingredients and it took like 5 minutes to make. So we're folding it in, and what I do is I like go about halfway through the bowl and fold it over. Halfway through the bowl and fold it over. We want to incorporate the Cool Whip without taking all the air out of it too. So you just keep stirring. You really can't do this wrong, but just take your time to just fold it in, just keep folding it over until it's all incorporated and there's no more streaks in the pie. Isn't that cool? This is so good. You're gonna love this, trust me. It's one of those recipes that like totally wows people when they're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, so let me recap real quick. This is how simple this is. I'm gonna start from the beginning. We unwrapped the chocolate, we melted the chocolate, we folded it into this wonderful Cool Whip, and I tell you, if you wanna cheat just a little bit, that is naughty good. It's really good stuff. Our last step is to pour it into the pie crust. See how simple this is? I love this pie. And it's such a crowd pleaser. Okay, so real quick, let me show you how. We're just gonna pour it in. And if you have a few streaks here and there, that's okay. We're just gonna get all that goodness off the side and pour it right into our pie shell. It just takes me a minute. Sorry, I'm not as talented when I'm going backwards. So perfect. And swirl it out to the edges. And then lastly, the hardest step is this goes in the refrigerator. You're gonna refrigerate it for about 3 hours. And when it comes out of the fridge, I'll doll it up a little bit with some additional whipped cream and tuck my little chocolates that I reserved off to the side, put those on top too. Gorgeous. Okay, so now that's done. Let me go put this in the fridge. And I have something else we're gonna do. You're gonna love it. Hey guys, I'm so glad you're still here. While the pie is in the refrigerator, it takes a couple hours. We're gonna let that do its thing. I thought I'd bring you along on a little project that I'm working on. My mother-in-law recently had surgery and she's recuperating in rehab. She has the most amazing, amazing team of caregivers, and they don't get enough thank you. So I thought in appreciation, I thought I'd make them a pie or a cake. It's actually a cake today. Just as a thank you for all the fantastic work they're doing. So what we have here is an Easter dirt cake. It's super fabulous. It's like Oreos and pudding and all kinds of crazy stuff. Oreos crunched up on top. Yum. So what we're gonna do is just dress this while the pie is refrigerating. I think you're gonna really like this. This is so fun. And this is a great time to get kids involved and just be silly. I mean, who doesn't love Peeps? And the fact that there's every color under the rainbow, that makes it even more fun. What's gonna make it look super cool is if you have several different colors and you don't put them all in a line. Let's put some pink here and there, put some purple here and there, and then of course, every bunny, every chicken has to lay an egg, right? So I have these are just jelly beans, but you could use like fancy Easter egg type things. I just like to keep it fun and casual, but adding more than you think. I know less is more when it comes to decorating, but not for this. This is silly. This is over the top. So let's make it extra fun. So I have those, and then these are actually like little fancy eggs. So we're gonna put a few of those on there too. They're not quite as bright and colorful, but they're super fun. Isn't that awesome? I think that the caregivers will really love that, and to know that someone appreciated them so much that they actually got a thank you. I think they're underappreciated. So this will be a great opportunity to say thank you. Isn't this fabulous? I know that they're just gonna love this gift, and just what a great way to say thanks and appreciation. So I hope you enjoyed this. How fun. Make sure the kids get involved when you put this together. And I'll tell you a little secret. I've done this a dozen times. Last time, Halloween, we made this with gummy worms, and I had graham crackers that were coming out for little headstones. It was super fun, super fun. So, you know, have fun with it. Oh, I'm so excited our pie is done. It's time to have some pie. But before we are finished, we're gonna make it look just a little pretty. So we're gonna put and I just have some leftover Cool Whip. And you can do this, gosh, any way that you think of, or you prefer. You could make it super fancy and dollop things, but I don't do fancy. I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that. So I just saved, like I said, a little bit of Cool Whip. And we're gonna take those pieces of chocolate that we reserved and just add them to the top to make it look a little pretty. And then another thing that we can do is I have a grater, a microplane. And I'm just gonna shave some chocolate over top. Is that not fabulous? It just dresses it up a tiny bit. Let me show you. Okay, just a little more chocolate to make it extra special. Cool. And just like that, it's ready for pie. This is fabulous. Grab a fork. Let's dig in. And that's it. It was that easy. I think it's time for pie. Guys, you're gonna make this. This is so good. The whole recipe's on the blog. It has more tips and tricks too. Also, the recipe for the Easter cake, that's coming soon too. So make sure you visit the blog, get all the recipe, all the tips and tricks, and make this really soon, okay?